One second. An office worker, doesn't say much about that one, but, pretty crazy. Scissors, $10, which we see at the top right, top left corner, then tissue Honda, the Tetsuhiro Honda, which was 17, then Go Shoji Gaku, 23rd, Kana Issa, 14, Takashi Yoshida, 3rd, more names, too.
The speedrun is with this, honestly. Such class trial for Junisha Jack and Chihiro's death. Here we go. Here's what I'm buying, listen to me. Nut job. Yeah. So, let me quickly. What is talking to me about it? Oh. No, we're still much going down today. I'm gonna be finally we're here. Alright. So everyone please find your sciences. Alright. I'm gonna do this very quickly. So we're gonna save here because I haven't actually saved in a while. So I can now set my skills. I have 6 out of 11. I have 3 SP, that's what it is. Special points probably. Not everybody's ways. We're gonna check out the 2 boys that we have so far. Mike coming forward 2 for Chihiro. Sakura's account, the dumbbell on the locker room for Manda's account, card reader being broken. They have to swipe the ebook for the card reader. The dead Monokuma handbooks and the two for Junko and Sayaka. The broken one for Leon. The Jack's file case. Ari's account, the boys' locker room, girls' locker room. The poster being swapped. Chihiro's handbook, which was not found by her corpse, and the status of her body. The disappeared stain that was in the carpet. My theory is they swapped the carpets. The library's desk lamp, and Celeste's account. And I have 16 of 16. So that's what we have to work with. Go ahead and we already saved, so we're gonna go ahead and finish in preparations. Here we go. One thing I want to do real quick is the locker room dumbbell, which that's correct. Good square. Okay, I want to see the controls real quick. Concentrate, shoot bullet, fire, X. B is the fast forward, A is the silence, and you have the aim buttons. Okay. Oh, that's the one. Moose, that was too late. like, what? And this is actually not that bad. I remember I was not so great. Sure. What noise would disrupt your reaction? Okay, so it's this new press A to fix it. New non-stop, okay. Welcome for no proof. So that's number 5. Number 5, that got right in my wing when I went for the board. So it's coming up. Oh yeah. It's position. So you get half a heart back. Yep. You just puts that there like a knife and just it's you. And people are in schizophrenia and personality. Hangman's Gambit. So I forget how this goes. Skids. People sees. Looking for the schizophrenia. Trying to get through it quicker so that we're not sitting here for hours trying to figure this out. And the guide clearly tells me like everything I need to know and how to spell and what to do. DID. Modest matches and this very downstairs. Okay. Should I? Also, I don't know if this is in the video, but the background noise sounds like music. I think it's from downstairs. My neighbor below me likes to have her music up really loud till late at night. Her parents taught her and raised her on that way, so I think she might be going to bed soon too, so it makes sense. She sure is still dead. true. That's very true. Very, very, very true. The biggest thing that I want to say with that, I'll just go to say the work placement in front and back, the stuff you can see that is appeal to you and that you can take for granted. There's also a back to where you are blind to the inevitable and you are in glee and mystified to the things you don't know. That's why, when you study or you do schooling or something, you like find something new. It's like, oh, this is cool. I never knew this before. This is totally new. This is awesome. Or you play a game and you never knew a clue or never knew something. Kind of just gives you that, huh. Then again, in the front side, your front view is stuff you see on a daily basis. Just like every inning has a top and the bottom. There's also the high peaks and the low peaks of your day and the things that you see. And then in every depth, or how in the depths of every truth there's a little white lie. That's why white lies are a thing. Like, you might find a story, or a saying or a description that gives you full details, but there's that one little itty thing that they didn't tell you, or they told you but not in full detail either. Kind of put it up for the imagination. That's the lie. So let's take that for an example. Let's say, as an example, this is not true. I went to Colorado, so a different state in the U.S., and I saw 25 people, and they all had red cars. And say that one statement. Let's say I told you to that as a story. Like, yeah, we were going to California, and we stopped by Colorado, and there's like a random small city, I don't know, that had like 5 cars sitting in the parking lot, and they were all red. Like, just a random, but in there, we never went to that city. Or there wasn't exactly 5 cars, there was like 7 or 3 or 10. And then you was going so fast, so you only got to see 5. And yet there were not people there. Maybe the other 5 cars were behind something. Like, there was a slight disappointment. And so I was like, no, there was 20 cars sitting there, but only 2 of them were red. When you was like, no, I swear there was like 5. Then you question on who's lying, even though it's a little white lie. Or maybe misremember behind every dark and glowing soul goes one that shines as bright as the sun. As in every person that you meet, no matter the backstory, they have a little bit of truth and a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of passion that drives them. That's how I read this. I'm giving you my thoughts and examples and analogies and things to this stuff because it's pretty deep. Not really. Life is pain, as in life is you never. My theory is you're never given life. Because in this day and age, in 2021, I feel like abortion for children and adults, but mainly, I mean, abortion is basically the standpoint of killing one's offspring before fully nurtured. I don't know the whole process, so I don't know how everything works. I just know that there was a big abortion thing in the South that was going on last year during COVID. Well, we're still in it, but during, the heat of everything. And, like, it was just crazy, like, it was against the law to have an abortion, basically. I mean, if you have a kid, you are having that kid. Doesn't matter where it goes, but you are having it. You have to have this kid. There's no say so against it, and that's where the people think abortion is wrong. But in my standpoint, as an individual, I find that abortion is both. Don't get me wrong. I love kids and I love being around kids and things like that. I do get mad at kids because they don't flow with adults or they want to have fun and they're not really looking for other people. But like with the abortion process, it's like you're killing something that you should be loving. And then it's like in most cases, the dad's like, I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm 21 and I want to have the whole life in front of me. I don't want to have a kid. Yet you have intercourse. Yes, my channel is for 18 and up, so I feel comfortable talking about a little bit of the sex ed and stuff like that. Most people in 13 know about sex ed anyway, so whatever. Anyway, dad runs off. Now the mom is there like, what am I supposed to do now? Well, I have to kill the kid because the dad doesn't want it and I can't afford to take care of it. There should be some kind of like legal backup for that. And life is pain also because from the very moment you are given life, you are born into a world that is deceitful, that is frustrating, that is struggling, that is dying. That is, I mean, you can name a bunch of stuff going on right now. It's just, the world is just not the way it used to be. You have greenhouse gases and global warming and so much going on. And when you conceive a child into this world, it's like you want to give him the all, but yet you have nothing to really give to him. Well, you don't have a right to make him anyway. Then again, you really don't have a choice to make him. And some people want to have a kid and can afford to and can't. They're infertile. They are like just not possible to make it happen. So it's kind of like a mixed bag. Some people are like, I'm too young and I don't want to deal with this. Like, 13-year-old kids having babies and stuff, and it's like, you're 13, you're not even in high school. Who the hell is going to take care of it when you're older? By the time you get out of high school, they're going to be in like 6 or 7 years old, so they're going to be in like 1st or 2nd grade. It's like, what? You have no time to go to college. You have no time to go. You have to go to work. It's like, at 18, your life is set out for you at that point. Well, like most people think that you should have a kid between 25 and 35. Statistically looking at it, not exactly everyone says that, but they're looking at where you would be at 25 to 35 versus 15 to 25. Like, it just makes more sense. Now, most people in other countries have a lower age, like age of youth. Like Japan, I think is they become adulthood at 13. Germany is, I think, 16. There's another one that's 16 somewhere else. I think it's like somewhere in South America. Like, I don't really know, but I just know Germany and Japan because I studied the cultures a lot, so I can fully state I know them too. And right now, Japan's trying to move that back up to 16 because a 13-year-old, yeah, I think middle school is between 10 and 14. Like, you have to get that. And you're 13, you either can go to high school or college, like straight up. How most go to college. It's like you're 14 going to a college where most people are like 50 or 30 or 40. It's like, it's just, the experience of childhood is very together. If I ever have kids, again, not again, but if I ever have kids, I would give them at least to 16. At 16 and they have a good strong head and they have good grades and they decide to start looking at the future, they can do it. Because at 16, you'll be a freshman in high school. So at that point, you have the influence. And you pick your own choices. That's 15 years of it. That's what I had to do. As I had my 15 years from 4 to 19. I'm still having to deal with it. I just got released off that like duty to where I can make my own choices. Like last year, they finally was like, alright, fine. Like I got emancipated at 18, but before that, my life was stressful, was angry, was somewhat of pain. Right now I deal with PTSD and a few other things in that same thing. Like when you realize that, you know, World War II, people that came back from war and, you know, flipped out about bombs and guns to your head and always carried like impacts, you know, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s through World War II and Vietnam. PTSD was a big thing, but really anything that gives you trauma or that gives you a negative reaction, like say you are, you know, sitting around the house and you remembered something that happened 10 years ago and you're having flashbacks, and it makes you mad, it makes you upset, it makes you frustrated. It happens constantly. That's PTSD, even the memory that's like, just, it could be anything, and it's just post-traumatic stress disorder, meaning it's something that happened in the past that you're dealing with now that's traumatic into effect, meaning you are not taking it too well or it's not resolved. And it stresses you out or causes behavior or something, and then it's a disorder that was given to you by the doctors or by a therapist or psychiatrist or something. So like, you gotta think it could be anything that gives you PTSD. And what I've learned in my days is don't ever let that bother you. Always strive to do you. If you don't want to do something, that's okay. If you need to do something, you should do it. That's kind of the motto I have. With my work schedule, with, you know, being a, can I not pause here? Yeah. With my days and how I've dealt with things, I've like dealt with it in a way that I feel like I'm comfortable with it. Like the biggest PTSD that I have in today's reality is like, you know, me being a boy for 22 years, you know, having to live a male role and lifestyle when I wasn't, my mind just did not make it that way. Like it didn't make sense of being that way. I mean, I was angry, I was frustrated, I was combative. Combative meaning I fought for no reason. I fought at people and just because I was angry or didn't know how to really express it. So I took it out on aggression. Like those things to it and pain of being alive, because the biggest, and here's the biggest point is your life can be taken away at any given moment. Any given moment, you could have your whole life just as gone. Look at Johnny Cash's Hurt. Look at that video. You can have all of the things you want in life, but if your happiness is shadowed and taken away, then you're not really living. You have not a reason to live. So when they're like, life is pain, it just doesn't make it fun, because it's like you go into this world realizing that, hey, you're having like a great day and this is like awesome and this and that, and it's like it's not like that. It's not like that. When you go into the world and you get past the bliss of your youth, you become a different person at 13. You open up to other people that have grown different lifestyles than you. Even into adulthood, when you're hitting 24 and 22 and 21, now you can drink in most most if not all, countries, and you can smoke and you get things like that, and there's just a bit more flavor to your lifestyle. Also, can go down to the wrong path too, and it can be painful. You have people that you lose, like older family members that die or move away, or just anything that can cause you pain in your life. So life is pain. You know, it's just, I didn't mean to be this deep, but it's that one thing, but life is pain, is to live to hurt other people's. It's not exactly to live, it's to live to embrace the loss for other people. That's what pain, that's what life is. It's to embrace loss and agony. Anyway, I didn't think it was gonna be that long and that deep, but when it comes down to some of that, immediately it was like, alright, hold on. I need to explain how this is in my head, because it gives the viewer watching, if you watch this vlog, hi, a bit more focus to what's going on with me, and my mindset and my ideals and my like, it just, you live, you learn, you progress, you sink. Life is a box of roller coasters. You just kind of float around and you weave them by, but you never have a straight line. It could be straight for a while and smooth sailing until a bump happens. And then you know, when you think about it, newborn to 5 or even 8, you're, not thinking about life, and you're thinking about fun and exploring and learning new things, and you're like 4th grade, 3rd grade, you're thinking like, this is like learning math and English and some social studies and science, and it becomes cool. Then you hit 11 and you go through your first pubertile stage, 11 to 14, and then you learn about the body and sex ed and more things in that nature. I hope this video does not get demonetized of that success. Because I'm explaining like the life and the mind of someone that's intelligent and thinks about things like this all the time. Then by 15 to 18, you're in high school. So you start dating, you start thinking of your life goals and where you want to live, and getting away from your parents because you don't really agree with them. And anymore because you're past that, you have your own ideas, you have your friend circle that you hang with. And by 21, 18 to 21, you're finishing high school, you're starting jobs or college. You have a girlfriend that you've been, or boyfriend that you've been with for years, and it's like, at that point you're thinking about moving in or having them where you stay out with friends longer. You're an adult, so you make your own choices, you start drinking. By 25, you're looking at marriage, and you're looking at, possibly having kids, and your job isn't taking in, but you want to raise or something better, so you will start looking, or you're the homebody actor, you stay home and clean like I am, and about 25 to 35, you have your co-worker circle which is different than your friend circle. And sometimes they interact and know each other, and you remember that's from high school that was like 20 years ago, and you start seeing your kids go to high school, and it's like, or middle school, and it's like you're starting to see your life in a different angle, and every 5 years you look back, you're somewhere else. Like I'm 24, and 5 years ago I was in a group home. 10 years ago, I was in placement. 15 years ago, I was living with my mom, but I was in and out of placement every 6 months. And 5 years before that, I was only 4 years old, and I lived with my mom and my dad and my brother and my grandmother, and my grandfather at the time. Both of them are dead. I only have one grandmother left, and a step-grandfather. Which is, my biological grandfather on my mom's side has passed away back in like 2008 or 9, I think. Like one died in 03, one died in 07 or 8, and one died in 09. Or 06, around like 10 years. I mean, they were all like 75 to 80, so it was like 60s, 70s, 80s, and my grandmother now is like almost 70, and my mom's like 50, so it's like, when you look at it in that perspective, your parents are almost dead. All your grandparents are dead. Maybe your aunts and uncles are dead. You now have great grandchildren to look after and teach and have fun with, and it's bliss and painful. For me, I live alone and I'm not really with anybody romantically at the moment. I mean, I am, but it's kind of a long distance relationship in a way, so it's kind of like hard to say if I'm actually physically dating the person or not. And